While driving home just south of New Hampshire's Franconia Notch, Betty and Barney will encounter a UFO. And in following weeks, they begin having nightmares about terrifying events that may have occurred during 2 hours of missing drive time.
This was a 5-hour drive, and yet it took 7 hours. So there were 2 hours of missing time. What happened in those 2 hours? That question, of course, gets to the heart of the alien abduction mystery.
In my experience working with these cases is that partly it's the subconscious mind blocking some of these memories and then bubbling up to the surface eventually. And partly it could be the alien beings are programming people not to remember.
Increasingly disturbed by fragmented memories of their encounter and recurring nightmares, Betty and Barney seek the help of a noted psychiatrist, Dr. Benjamin Simon.
Dr. Simon interviewed Betty and Barney separately and together, and then he began 6 months of separate hypnosis sessions.
Dr. Simon uses a then revolutionary technique known as hypnotic regression, a process by which Betty and Barney are put under a trance and then are encouraged to recall memories that are not available to the conscious mind.
When I have a person in hypnotic regression, they'll relive this experience. Men and women will go through what they went through back then, the trauma, the fear, they're crying.
In sessions lasting over 6 months, Dr. Simon uncovers shocking facts about the first ever modern account of an alien abduction. Audio recordings of hypnosis sessions, never before heard on national television, reveal the frightening moment when Betty and Barney are taken.
And then I pulled over to the side of the road. And I looked toward the sky. It looks like a big pancake. I drive, and Betty is still looking, and she says, "Barney, they're still following us. What do they want?" I believe this is a flying saucer. I can see it tilted toward me. All right, that's all. Go to sleep, Steve. You let it get now.
Betty Hill told me she resisted. She described it to me as almost like getting in a fist fight with these entities, whatever they were.
She became terrified when they tried to take her, and she fought for her life.
It was very frightening because they saw these beings approach the car, and they took them out of the car and led them into the craft.
I have been told to keep my eyes closed. They took me and carried me, and my feet are not bumping on the rocks. I am going up a slight incline. I'm afraid to open my eyes.
According to their own words, once inside the craft, Betty and Barney are taken to separate sterile environments. They are placed on tables where extraterrestrials begin to examine them.
First, they wanted to remove her dress, but they didn't know how to operate a zipper. They tried to pull it apart. It tore the stitching, and it tore the thick zipper fabric.
Did you feel you were going to be operated on? No. I was laying on the table. I thought if I keep real quiet, I won't be harmed.
They examined their hands, their feet, their joints, and they seemed to do a test of their nervous systems. They seemed to be counting his vertebrae as they would push on his spine with something. For Betty, she believed it was part of her neurological test. So they underwent the same type of examination, separately.
This creature is telling me something. What did he tell you? To keep my eyes closed. And don't open them. I've never seen his eyes before. My God, give me strength. All right. Pull him down. Run! Pull him up and down and run! God! If there's my God, give me strength. I gotta get away.
At the end of Betty's examination, the examiner produced a very large needle, and he plunged the needle into her navel, causing so much trauma, so much pain, that Dr. Simon had to end the session early.
Betty and Barney's sessions are incredibly disturbing, and yet their stories are remarkably similar.
Whatever happened to Betty and Barney Hill, they believe that it happened, and they are reporting it as accurately and truthfully as they know how.
After 6 months of hypnosis therapy, Betty and Barney believe they've uncovered the truth about their close encounter. In time, they accept what happened and move on with their lives.
Betty and Barney decided to tell the family, close friends, and they spoke to scientists and UFO investigators who were interested. They also spoke to the Air Force, and they made a Project Blue Book report.
The Hills encounter becomes the first widely publicized credible report of alien abduction in history. The alleged abduction of Betty and Barney Hill is an extraordinary case, made all the more credible because it involved more than one person, even though details were recalled only while under hypnosis.